Hello, everyone. So I'm back, Felix Valenti, and it's me, Felix Valenti. Real sorry for being late again. This is another time where I had to get lunch. I was having a burger. Had to eat that as fast as I could before I could come up here, so I didn't have to eat on stream. I know that's not really what y'all are here for. Oh crap! Excuse me. Give me a second. That's not very. I'm sorry. That was not very professional of me. Um, Here we go. Where are we? Come on. Hold on. Where's that? Window capture. Um, Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second, real quick. Um, where is that? Hold on. I need a second. I'm really sorry. Let me go find that window. Bring it to exe. YouTube. Oh man, there we go. Hey, hey, there we go. Okay, so we left off around what was it? It was around the there we go. Let's get that helmet on. We left off around the Rhodesian homegrown solutions, I believe, where we were discussing a lot of this was a lot of a hold on. A lot of these self-made mine ambush protected these early MRAPs. Well, we're not discussing MRAP specifically. Let's get on this BGM. Oh, that's gonna do that. That's gonna do that. The stream is not going well, and it is my fault. It is my fault. Feel free to call me out on it. I was not prepared well. Um.
Again?
Oh geez, it's a double ad. It's another double ad. Are you kidding me? Okay, so we're back here. We're back here, I think. One of these pages. And we were reviewing the a lot of these because a lot of these were built originally for on that's still too loud. I'm sorry. A lot of these were still built originally on we discussed these were mostly built on Land Rovers, Nissans, and in general these still technically were very heavy military modifications of civilian vehicles. And I did call out that while these were good for mine clearing, mine sweeping, that sort of thing, these wouldn't necessarily be very good in an actual combat situation due to how high profile it was, how impractical it might have been to transport weapons, to transport troops, and all that. And actual mine protected ambush what is it? Yeah. My mine protected ambush vehicles or mine resistant ambush protected MRAPs wouldn't be as commonplace as they were until the global war on terror, which was around the early 2000s post 9/11 era. But these were the first, and you can see they're very primitive for what they're worth, but they did work. According to the various articles. Oh, we have an early model Ford F-250. Specialist Rhodesian troops joke with an official army photographer in front of a pig used here as the tactical command vehicle on an external operation. So this is like a command and control. Commanders would sit here and give directions to troops. This is an official Daimler Scout car, and a lot of these are still military dedicated vehicles, but we do have we're reviewing these, I believe. You can see that like these came directly from the Mercedes Unimog platform. They would just strap on these armor panels. These would become the Pig. These would become the MPCV. These would all become their homemade military transport capabilities. These all these homemade, these homegrown solutions built off civilian or utility vehicles, normally associated with just industrial or work moving. And there was something we were discussing. I was trying to remember where this was leading to, and getting back into the spirit of truly nothing is. Oh, let's get rid of that. Nothing is going back to the Middle East and Syria and topics such as that. There really is nothing. Nothing is safe from being added to a technical. Nothing is safe from being converted into a technical. And as we can see, this what appears to be a muzzle loading, like ye old smoothbore cannon, like the ones that you would see on in the Age of Sail or in the colonial times, being used in the modern day in Syria as a direct attack weapon. The Rahman Corps is a Syrian rebel group operating in the Damascus region, is independent of the Free Syrian Army, but is on friendly terms with it. Via the group's YouTube channel, some videos have been released showing what appears to be either a century-old cannon or an improvised construction. Like either this is a real cannon that they just stole from a museum or from like a historical site, strapped into the back of what appears to be an Isuzu-style utility truck with its own mechanism and everything. This is with its own recoil mitigation mechanism and everything. And then they're just shooting it like that. If you if you look very closely at the radio tower in the picture, I'm not seeing the radio tower, you can see the actual projectile a second before it lands on the building. I'm assuming that this is straight cannonball technology without any high explosive charge within the projectile due to the minimal destruction on target. They're just shooting regular cannonballs from this thing. No bombs, no explosive shells, just raw kinetic cannonballs. This is what Nathan F had to say about the contraption. Yes, it resumes. Though this isn't a muzzle loader, this is a breech loader apparently. So you'd unscrew the back, you'd throw in your powder and your charge, and then you'd close it up, and then you'd fire it. It resembles an old pre-breech loader cannon. Oh, maybe it was muzzle loaded, but I don't think it actually is. For example, these were typically mounted onto trunnions about their center of gravity, while this cannon has trunnions on the very rear. Also, even though they have adopted reinforcement and a nipple that appears similar to an old gun, but which actually appears to be some kind of firing or breech mechanism, the rest of the cannon looks totally improvised. So it is so apparently it is an improvised cannon. They didn't just like steal it from a museum, even though it looks very similar to one you would see stolen from a museum. The mount is obviously derived from a hydraulic system from a dump truck or other kind of vehicle, so it's not historical either. So this is basically integrated into the vehicle now. It's stuck with this now. It's now an official like black powder gun truck. That means if anything from an original muzzle-loading cannon were incorporated, we basically couldn't see it, so I say improvised. In the footage, there isn't anybody remotely near the actual cannon, leading me to assume that the gunners themselves realize how dangerously it could go wrong with a bad construction or a bad charge. That was very common with a lot of black powder firearms. They couldn't necessarily be trusted to hold their charge safely. Oh my gosh, we have the mount right here. Let me open chat. Let me open chat real quick, because I am streaming right now. And oh, hey Thami! Look at that pipe link. That's homemade. The end is a water pipe. Hey Thami, good to see you, man. Good to have a viewer for this. But yeah, we basically this is normally with a lot of the technicals that we saw. a lot of the technicals that we saw, there really is like a very rudimentary a mounting system. They would drill it, they would weld it onto the weld the weapon onto the truck bed. But this is basically fused with this proprietary recoil mitigation system. This is the the truck and the gun are one now. This cannot be just taken off. This is a new level of technical where the incorporation of it is just full on. There are 3 videos that film the cannon in action by the Syrian rebel group. So let's pause this for a second. And hold on, where is that? Where's the oh my yeah, this is it's mount it this is I think that's a striker. I think that here is a striker, and then this is like impacts the interior of the cannon, and then it sets off the gunpowder inside and just goes. And it is mounted on like a proprietary buffer system, what seems to be. And so we already and we have it firing at a high angle. Oh man, okay, let's see that in slow motion. Let's see if we can get it in slow motion. That is that's an actual cannonball just erupting from the muzzle. I'm it's just such a low velocity that you can see it. Like normally with regular guns or regular artillery or even like most missiles, you can't actually see the missile or the projectile itself, maybe just the muzzle, the vapor trail. But it's the it's being fired so slow, you can see it arcing up and arcing falling back down. That is, I don't think they like maybe they're intentionally underloading it because they're intentionally underloading it because they don't want to blow up their own truck, but it seems likely that they were. Yeah, it seems likely. Let's get another view of and this is another one of it firing. I think this is a more direct fire application. I love how the cab just bounces. Everything in the cab just bounces around. No one is actually in the vehicle for fear of just like getting splattered by a potential malfunction with this thing. There's that's a tow add-on from the looks that controls the controls in the lift bed tell me that. So this is original. So according to Thami, this might have been converted from a tow truck, but not from a dump truck as we previously assumed. Hmm. Hold on, Nor. And it's just, can we see the projectile on this one? No. It happens too fast. But I'm pretty sure that's the seat just bouncing around in the cab from the recoil. So while the mechanism is still doing work, is still like the recoil mechanism is still doing work. It is not enough to keep the truck from just shaking. And we saw from earlier when they mounted more professionally built armored car turrets or tank cannons in the bed of these trucks, the trucks would just fall over from the recoil force. And it really shows like it doesn't need to be a like like is weapons will find their way into the hands of people who need to use them, even if they're banned, even if they don't have access to actual guns. As you can see here, they're just using a black powder cannon because they just can, because that's all they have, and they just mounted it to this truck. That's all they have, and that's like, of course, I'm pretty sure they'd be happier with some kind of direct fire weapon from like a tank or a rocket launcher, but this old naval style cannon is all that they have. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have this. So this was something brought up by this was something brought up by Grayzoomer on the on a server that I'm with. Not Grayzoomer. Was it Grayzoomer? No, it was Fiend. And he brought up this is the vampire system, which is the this is if we saw all the what was it, the Type 63 107 millimeter rocket launchers that we saw a lot in Syria and the Middle East. This is the modern version. This is the updated version. Hold on, let me reload the page. I think it's screwed up. And as we can see, I think this is an ad from L3 Harris, which is to my knowledge a British arms manufacturing company. This is they're selling these to Ukraine. And this is an actual like this is the new CIA funding version of the like we had the Vulcan that was like this CIA funding version of like the most expensive thing you can put on a technical, but this is the new most expensive thing you can probably put on one. This is this is a four tube rocket launcher, laser guided, so you know it's high tech. This is the L3 Vampire. Vehicle agnostic modular palletized ISR rocket equipment. Well, they just wanted to call it Vampire. Let's be real. A palletized low cost, relatively low cost, and rapid weapon deployment system. So we can see it's lasing the target. And this is all just it's just attached to this truck, this laser guided anti-tank or anti-armor weapon system, and they can hit bunkers with it. They can hit tanks with it. Normally these rockets specifically are normally mounted on helicopters. This is the high like it's firing a Hydra 70. I can't remember the caliber of the rockets. I think it's 88 millimeter. Ukrainian battlefields are now the proving ground for L3's new modular pallet-based rocket system designed to mount to any truck with a flatbed. Ever since the appearance of the Shahed 136 kamikaze drones, all otherwise known as loitering munitions, Ukraine has been struggling to protect its skies. The Vampire system could offer a relatively cheap solution to combat the menace from above. So this is mainly used for shooting down drones, but from what I'm mostly familiar with, this is normally like when it's when it's attached to helicopters, this is normally meant for ground attack. You'd see these on Apaches, you'd see these on I think Cobras, and they'd be on a much bigger rocket pod. They'd carry two of them. And it's interesting because we have seen rocket pods. This is the modernized rocket pod. We have seen on the let me go retrieve it. We reviewed the motherfucker the last time, which is just a giant a giant bomber rocket strapped to the end. And hold on, let me go find it. I gotta go find it. I need this, man. I need this. Hold on. And oh, oh, that didn't copy quite correctly. So we have let's put on the BGM back on. We have where's that anti-tank missile, anti-air missile? There we go. We have the greed set. Now this can't really be seen clearly as much as we want to, but these two mounted on the front in direct, like if they fire, they will kill this guy with the RPG and possibly destroy the machine gun or autocannon in the back. This is a rocket pod. To my knowledge, this is strapped to the Su-25 jet light bomber in use by Russia and the Soviet Union and Ukraine. And I believe also attached to the Mi-24 Hind, the Hind D. That's the NATO reporting name. But this is all like this cone-shaped weapon right here. All of that is they took it from a helicopter and then just strapped it to their truck, to their what I presume is also Toyota. And this would basically allow, let me reload it again. I don't think it's allowing me to scroll when I'm not on it. And it will it will fail as anti-air. I say, why do you say that? I mean laser guided because it's laser guided, Tommy. I mean, I guess the argument could be that it's better off that they mount a Stinger, which we reviewed earlier, a Stinger or an Igla against these drones, but those are, I guess, are more directly needed against actual dedicated manned threats such as light aircraft or helicopters, which is why assume they're getting these, which are presumably cheaper because basically half of NATO uses this specific rocket mounting system. The speed of it. Oh yeah. So I mean, I guess it depends because I remember that early versions of these rockets were originally trialed for. I'm gonna go on a tangent. I'm gonna go on a tangent. Let me find it. To my folding fin aerial rocket, I believe this is like the precursor to the Hydra 70 that we're seeing. The FFR has been developed in the modern Hydra 70 series. This is the one being fired by. This is the ammo for the Vampire. Um, and the speed of it in small targets. Yeah, this is mostly meant to be fired en masse, like rapid fire. This was the precursor. This was unguided. Fin stabilized unguided rocket improves primarily in the air to ground role, but these were previously used for air to air systems. And as we can see, these were originally mounted to aircraft and I think it wasn't the best idea if you look up the I think was it the Battle of Palmdale where these when mounted to a jet fighter failed to shoot down a drone all the way back in the 1950s. So I guess that point is proven. But for what it's worth, this could prove a valuable attack platform that you can just strap on. You have ready available ammunition for it, and you have a laser guided. You you have a laser guide. Oh, it's in slow motion. It's in slow motion. They did poorly, well, yeah. But for what it's worth, having this capability, having this option, which means that they're like as we mentioned before, there are companies now that are developing weapon systems and armor systems designed to be mounted directly to a civilian vehicle, and to make and which is what they have. This is like they want to distribute these as much as possible throughout places like Ukraine to make sure everyone has this supposed anti-drone or attack capability, which and like it really shows that how how everything evolves. We go from the rocket pods, like the crude rocket pods, like fixed forward, they can only be really used as artillery, to we can see as a direct attack, as a direct attack solution. So we have L3's name for the digital targeting system used on the Vampire, IR target marker. So I think there is an infrared targeting option being used. This is the a like and this is based off the same system as the APKWS, the APKWS, the advanced it's a mouthful. The advanced precision kill system, which is quite a name, which is basically this but attached to stuff like the A10 or the H64. They would be better off with a smaller one with high speed, says Tommy. Says Tommy. Let me pull up chat. Where's the chat box? Oh, that's being covered up. Let's be. Oh, here we go. Here's the chat box. Finally, Felix has progressed to having a chat box. Anyway, it is poor range as well as this. This won't stop a drone in a dive. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but the main appeal for this sort of thing is that it's easy to mount. It's cheap. That's for later. It's cheap. It can, like I said, pretty much every NATO military uses it. I'm aware of its faults, but I still think it's really cool that just like you can mount a laser guided missile at any time. You have the ammunition directly like readily available to you. You can just mount it in the bed of your truck. It's really small too. As we can see, we just saw someone loading it in just by hand. You don't need a crane or anything. You can just shove the rocket in, and boom, you're ready to go. Yeah, the APKWS-2 and the pallet. So this is controlled by this workstation right here in the passenger side seat, which prevents its capability from being used in an active combat situation. Like, while I said that the weapon itself could be used against tanks, it isn't. Yeah, it's being sold as anti-air, which I don't like. That's fair, because a lot of these companies, every company kind of lies. Every company kind of stretches what their products can do, and I think this is probably an application of that. Yeah, so effective for ground targets, and here it's claiming to be effective for air targets. It's claiming to be that. Pandora's box. The U.S. government is primarily pitching the system as a counter UAV weapon. Again, I think I'm going to agree with Thami that it's not necessarily the best application for that sort of thing. The intent is to shoot down and track and shoot down enemy drones, as well as potentially slow-moving helicopters. L3 prominently displays this capability in the Vampire's promotional material. However, the system is also capable of attacking ground targets via laser designation, which to my knowledge is like, at least my thoughts, should be the primary appeal of this weapon system, that they can just set it up, strap it to a truck, aim it at something, and you have because you have an anti-tank or anti-light armor weapon system that's readily available on a truck. So covert potential. At face value, this doesn't bring anything particularly new to the battlefield outside of converting non-standard vehicles into technicals. However, the convert is not something unheard of. The conversion of a truck into a rocket-firing technical is not something unheard of. What is of particular interest is a self-contained palletized system and the quick install time. I think it's also the higher tech capabilities, because this provides a step up from normal wire-guided or like TV-guided anti-tank weapon systems, where it's both simpler and high tech and like higher tech. So we have that. The RB Hydra APKWS. Well, what caliber was the hold on. Hydra set for the Hydra 70. This is the rounds that they were firing. As we can see, that you can pick these up and load them by hand. And they're basically for a lot. These are a lot of platforms. Like I said, a lot of militaries around the world, mostly NATO, uses these specific weapon system. The Canadian CRV-7, which is physically interchangeable. So what caliber is this? Length diameter 70 millimeter. So I guess that's why it's called the Hydra 70. Rocket pod, and because we did that big tech leap for like what technicals are and what they can do, I'm not gonna throw on the black powder cannon. I feel bad for the guys that actually have to do that. They actually have to use a black powder cannon in their direct attack role. So going further on the topic of Ukraine, I don't want to comment too much on the politics of it all, but we see here, this right here, if we can look back, this is a Maxim machine gun. And what we reviewed in the very first episode, like a few weeks ago at this point, this is the very first, like, I mean, like, it's not like the first successful one. Is the like to my knowledge, it is the very first successful self-powered machine gun, and it's being used in modern times, this, like, in current year, strapped to the back of a truck. And this is like we said, like when we were reviewing the technical. Oh, Thami, on anti-tank, what's the pen on them? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with how far they can go. I'm not like really a military expert. I'm just an enthusiast. From what I'm aware, a lot of tanks are well armored against the Hydra 70 at this point, but for anti-armor such as against IFVs or APCs, it is still worth it. again, most of this knowledge comes from me playing War Thunder, so it's not necessarily the most accurate, but to my knowledge, it is somewhat like against the sides or again for direct top attack or against the sides, it would be effective in my largely uneducated opinion. So let's go back to we have the greed set and the motherfucker which we reviewed last time. We see see here we have the rocket pod as well. This is not a new thing. They've just been doing it for such a long while that they decided to update it. And but going back to this is we reviewed this so long ago. We have the Maxim gun. This is the original Devil's paintbrush, and it's being used in modern. Like I'm just astounded that this is probably an original system. No one is making these anymore, and it's ironic that the very first machine gun also turned out to be probably the most reliable because it's water cooled. You can see the this is a water tank on the front that surrounds the barrel that cools it off. And I remember the British made their own version of this called the Vickers, and they were able to right after World War II they needed like they did an ammo test on them, and I guess they were still being used even in World War II at that time because it would still be relevant for most applications. And this fired for like I believe 2 million rounds or at least 1 million rounds for 2 days straight, and it didn't like it never jammed. So you can see how like why Ukrainian fighters or militias would really favor this, and it's just astounding that this was the original technical weapon. This is the OG, and it's still being used in frontline service. Oh, this is a PTRS Soviet. This was an anti-material rifle used by the Soviets in World War II. I don't think I'll call this a technical because it isn't. I think this guy is just using the top of the truck as a stabilization platform. It's not really being used. It's not directly strapped to the truck. Oh, that doesn't look good. That thing is now ground mounted. It would not work as AT. Oh, we're still talking about the Hydra. Tommy's still talking about the Hydra 70. But we have this, and we have we have a PKM in the back. This is I think a pro-Ukrainian. These are Ukrainian Ukrainian armed forces. That's a DSHK, I believe, and we can't see a weapon on that one. I think that's a DSHK as well, and we have another DSHK with like you can see this. I feel like I've seen this like sort of cell camouflage before. I'm wondering why why they would. I guess the white stripes are for identification by friendly units. But I'm just laughing that we have the original Maxim gun, and as we can see, like as we go back, improvised fighting vehicle. Do they cover it here? Oh, where is that? We have the Tachanka, and it's this. I just wanted to emphasize this is it on a horse-drawn carriage, and this is the one on a modern truck. It's the same gun. The history is a flat circle. War never changes. I don't care if I'm just like Fallout spurging both here on Twitter. That's the truth. War truly never fucking changes, ever. No, it doesn't. It never. It never. It's the same every time. So we're covering that. We already covered that, and I just find it so interesting that 7 out of 8 Picky's doing his best. Extra small technical. Is this a Suzuki Jimny? I think this was. I had a friend from church who I remember. I think he drove one of these. He drove one of these because this was his favorite car. I think this was his only thing that he like this was his most favorite car. A friend from church, and as you can see, there isn't sitting room. There isn't like riding room in the back. You have to stand up, which, as fun as that looks, I don't think this is a stable platform. For the gunner. You'd have to be like, I think this guy would be thrown from the vehicle if like not even in combat. If they hit a bump pretty bad, this guy would be thrown. But I guess you have to use whatever you have. Extra small technical from. Are you sure that's not from an airsoft game? Old Suzuki Samurais and Sidekicks. Oh, so we have the We already covered the Suzuki Jimny. So this is the Suzuki Samurai or Sidekick, I guess, according to this guy. A pretty popular platform is to make tanks for airsoft or paintball scenario games. It looks pretty real. The last thing you hear as you get lit up by the DSHK is Barbie Girl by Aqua. So we have that. Again, it's not necessarily advisable, but we have seen anti-tank weapons mounted to that. Suzuki Jimny. So we have that, and going off of that, oh, we have the. I was looking at this earlier, and as we can see, like it extends. Like this is probably going to be a shorter stream because of the things I wanted to review, but as we can see, we're back on the firearm blog again. This is like it doesn't just extend to war zones. The concept of the armored fight of the improvised fighting vehicle. Look at that gap. That poor roof. This is like you're probably going to be firing this rearwards. I don't think this is a good solution because like at best the gunner would be sitting right here and then facing like to the side and firing this way and firing this way. But I guess as a promotional vehicle for this, what appears to be like a gun company, it works. It's fun. This is a Chevy Avalanche. This is a Chevy Avalanche, which is, as we've discovered, a lot of Chevys have made it like if you've ever wanted to like really know how if someone has CIA funding and it's not a Toyota, it's a Chevy. Like the primary American technical isn't it is the Chevy, but TDS Arms is an FFL SOT, so he gets to play with the fun stuff. The M2 branding is full auto. The M2 is attached to a custom mount made by a mutual friend, Josh James. Some shooters love to romanticize the idea of a truck gun or aka trunk gun. Usually have an expendable firearm that they relegate to be stored in their trunk in case of emergencies. Well, my friend Corey Simontu of CDS Arms takes it an extra step and made a DIY technical using his company's Chevy Avalanche. So, again, it's not the best, but this is probably like, ironically, it is a civilian. This isn't being used by any military, but it's ironically one of the better ones that's being used. That's being I guess like driven around because you have a holographic sight. I don't know much about vehicle like gun mount like mounted gun sights as we demonstrated when I was looking at the Vulcan, but like it looks like a giant EOTech that's mounted onto there. Oh, we have an MG3 or an MG42 attached to it. Is that a Jeep Wrangler? Yeah, it's a Jeep Wrangler. We have the Hitler's buzzsaw. It's back. It's back, baby. It's on the gayest vehicle of all time. I love it. I love it. That's Willie's MB Jeep and a Jeep Wrangler. Even technicals can be a bit fruity. And oh my gosh. Okay, this is just like you're just fucking with me now. This is this is obviously just a LARP. This has to be fake. This is but the guns are probably real. They look real enough. You're not going to shoot them while driving. That's a fact. A small puddle will throw you from this vehicle. Perfect idiot. I'm not American enough to understand these terms. If you're talking about the FFL, that's like federal firearm license. That means you're a gun dealer or a gun seller. SOT means you're legally allowed to sell machine guns, but not and like handle machine guns. And so we have I don't know if they're real or fake. They have laser sights attached to them, and what seems to be a proper dual mount. This is an M1919 Browning. Let me put this down from the weapons. HK21, MG42, 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 MG3 308 Winchester. This is and well we have the we have our first 8 millimeter weapon. Um MG42 792 by I think it's 8 millimeter Mauser. This is like if it was in World War II, this would be the round being fired by this guy. Where's that? This is it. I think this is the one. This is the guy right here. This brass colored one. The 7.92 by 557 millimeter Mauser. This was like if you've seen Saving Private Ryan or played any World War II like Call of Duty, you know this thing is basically the fastest machine, like one of the fastest machine guns you can get aside from a minigun. And it's just kind of ridiculous. I'm not even gonna put this down because I don't trust them. I don't trust this to be a reliable weapons mounting system. But the fact that they have genuine M1919 Brownings it's just remarkable. Oh yeah, we already have M1919 A4 Brownings, and 30-06 Springfield. I think those are A4s. A4s. Oh my gosh. It's just some states it is illegal to be perfect one day you will. That is a mistake. Did I make a mistake? I said 57. No, I didn't make it. Oh, are you saying like mounting this on a vehicle is a mistake? Yeah, I would agree. Like as much as I love guns and I love technicals, this is not a good solution. You would you are making pain. You are making it a hellish experience for anyone you have forced to be your gunner. But yeah, it just really shows that the elements of American gun culture have really extended to this is LARP, this is just recreation. It's fun. People are building these for fun, and I endorse it. It is very fun. It looks very fun. But we have like the what is technically the civilian sphere and all of this, all and like how popular this is. So going briefly back, I know this isn't necessarily a good segue, but um going back to the Ukraine conflict, this is a Russian UAZ Patriot, which is a let's put that down. UAZ the UAZ Patriot, which someone brought up on a server that I was talking about, where you can see a lot of these and like we mentioned in a lot of previous ones. Let's go back to the all these aftermarket armor systems have become popular for just mounting directly onto civilian vehicles. Oh, that side by side is a mistake. Yeah, I agree. We're not putting down the side by side. But as we can see here, a lot of these are just it's just becoming more and more popular to be like ready conversions, especially for militaries like Russia and Ukraine that have run out of their more advanced equipment and need frontline weapons fast. And as I can't really identify the gun that he's shooting. I think it's a Dragunov. I think that's an SPD Dragunov, but I don't think that would be normally mounted to the system here. Um, a Russian UAZ Patriot pickup with additional armor. That's slat armor, I guess, like to protect from basic small arms fire. It is really lightly armored. You wouldn't see this on a lot of aftermarket armor systems that have like the big, bulky, beefy composite armor systems. But for what it's worth, it's better protection for the drivers than just, you know, a soft skin with just regular windows and regular everything. You can like drive this through barriers through real easy. And as we can see, like everything is oh crap, that's my regular Twitter page. So and Russia's been doing this for a while, not just with Toyotas, but with like we mentioned here, the UAZ Patriot. Um UAZ Patriots with core 12.7 millimeter heavy machine guns and AGS-17 grenade launchers to Syria. Let's put down the cord. I think that's, to my knowledge, that's like an upscale DSHK. Oh, that's really cute. I like that animal. I like the Pika. Um, Yeah, it looks like an upscaled PKM or an NS, replacing the older NSV. This is, I think, is supposed to be the update to the DSHK. All variants of the weapon are also available chambered in 50 BMG for export sales. Reduced recoil allowing to the NSV. So we have the cord. 12.7 x 108 millimeter. X 108 millimeter Soviet. So we have those, and so protect human and possibly used to protect humanitarian convoys. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. They could easily just be used for just offense or just they're shooting at the local populace as well. Is that a bolt action rifle in the back?
As you're sitting in your basement, you hit your vape, but then your mom.
Oh, that's shut up. Um, where's that? Shitty technicals. So we have those. That's the PKM in the front, I believe to be like a bolt action anti-material rifle in the back. I can't identify it. I'm a gun nerd, but I'm not like as enough of a gun nerd as to recognize it. Additionally, if necessary, the vehicle can be equipped with Conkers or Cornet, or I guess maybe it's called Cornet, anti-tank missiles capable of hitting enemy targets at distances of up to 5 kilometers. It can also be fitted with a 120mm mortar with an effective range of 9 kilometers. The new military use UAZ Patriots were first demonstrated to Putin this spring. In the summer, they were showed at a closed pavilion for specialists at the Army 2016 Military Technical Forum. These latest vehicles may replace or complement the UAZ 3132 Gusar Gusar? I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Already engaged in Syria and used for operations by Russian special forces, experts said. So we have what I guess Russia favors its homegrown solutions. The UAZ 3132, which to my knowledge is also like an earlier version of this, or also a civilian pickup truck. Conkers or Cornet. Let's put that under. Where's the tow? Because that's basically the Russian version of the tow. I think the Cornet or the Cornet is laser guided. Is it laser guided? No, it's yeah, it is laser guided, but so this is the weapon that they're talking about. And what is it? Conkers. Where's the conk? we're not gonna go. This might get me banned. I'm not gonna say it. It's probably been mounted to technicals too, but I wanted to show. I just wanted to show it. This is their version of the tow of the wire guided missile. Hell, why is it called that? I don't know. So we have the Conkers. This is wire guided. Where's the tow? VGS 71 tow. The Conkers 9. Where is that? 9M113. And the what appears to be the the NATO reporting name AT-14 Spriggan is derived from the Spriggan, a legendary creature from Cornish fairy lore. I feel like I've heard the term Spriggan before in military context. It might have been from an anime. 9M133 Cornet. Cornet, which is probably the most advanced weapon system that we've, like one of the more advanced dedicated ATGMs that we've added to the list. Well, they can, because like with the Vampire before, this is laser guided, I believe. Oh, it has automatic target tracker, fire and forget capability. So yeah, it is pretty much, it would be like one of the more advanced systems that are available to mount on a technical, even though it is just one missile system. And this is what I wanted to address last time. last time we were reviewing we were reviewing all of these the Bedford, the Vauxhall Cavalier, and the Austin Maestro, which were in use by the Irish Republican Army. These were not trucks. These two on the list are civilian sedans. I want to emphasize that those two were British-made civilian sedans that they chose to armor and put guns on. The same with the Ford Sierra, which is like literally like a sedan, and it is like apparently it's spread to Ukraine as well. The Road and Track. This is a car. This is a car magazine. Though the term technical typically refers to a Toyota Hilux or similar truck with a bed-mounted heavy weapon. This time, it's a German Grand Tourer sporting a machine gun, and it is. It's a BMW 6 Series that just has you don't like I guess the only way it could be fired is if someone stands in the back seat, leans forward, and then mans the gun. There's no technical reason you can't build one from a luxurious German Grand Tourer. Typically, a pair of inventive Ukrainians proved as much, as shown on the Twitter account Ukraine Weapons Tracker. They appear to have built the technical using an E64 generation BMW 6 Series. It's just a thing that they got. It's just a thing that they have. BMW 6 Series convertible. The trunk lid was removed to make room for the hefty-looking quad-pod mount. Atop which sits a heavy machine gun. According to the tweet, it's a Soviet NSV. So it is related to the Cord that we looked up earlier. But it's just... This could be you, chat. This could be you. If you own a car and you want to put a gun on it, this could be you. If you... It doesn't. You don't have to own a lifted pickup truck to put a machine gun on it. You can just strap onto your golf cart. It wouldn't be advisable, but you could. E64, E64 machine, E64 BMW, with a T. This likely marks the only point of similarity between the E64 6 Series and the T-72 main battle tank. Man, the BMW convertible is not a natural candidate to carry a heavy weapon into an active war zone, as it is an unarmored, requires significant maintenance. Sir, I live in Canada, lol. I'm so sorry, Tommy. Come home, come to the US where we can enjoy this sort of thing, where you have to jump through a lot more loops to like enjoy this sort of thing. But even the V8 US spec model has a payload capacity of around 800 pounds. When you have to support a mounted machine gun with 2 armored passengers and a bunch of ammo, that isn't great. It's a low ground clearance. If you're a mechanic and you've worked on a BMW, my dad owned a BMW, and that thing lasted a long time. But when it failed in the worst way. But they're ballsy enough to strap an NSV onto one of those. They're playing with fire. They're cooking with propane on that one. Core DSHK. So we have that, and I moved this to the front in order to look up some more. And as I wanted to go briefly into the civilian side of just like enthusiasm, would I put this down? No, but it's funny. That appears to be I think that's an M240 Bravo. That's an M240. If this isn't CGI, I'm pretty sure this is from a Fast and Furious movie. I could be wrong. I just found this in shitty technicals. But Lamborghini, like, yeah, as we can see in the comments, Lamborghini isn't a stranger to trying to build purpose-built military vehicles. I think this is the let me look this up. I'm going on another tangent. The LM002 and the Lamborghini, I think is it the Piranha? It's they've done this for a while, I believe, and this was their competition to the it's not putting it down as a technical, but I just wanted to bring it up anyway because it's so yeah. Oh, it's the Cheetah. That's what it was called, the Lamborghini Cheetah, which is also there. This was the progenitors of the current Humvee. So like they originally tried. They really did try. And as much as we know, we love the Lamborghinis for the Countach, or the Diablo, or the Murcielago, or like the Gallardo. They also built tractors, so they're no stranger to like these kinds of vehicles, or like more heavy duty vehicles with the 12-cylinder engine from the Lamborghini Countach. And I believe this one is you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna put it down anyway. Lamborghini. LM002. LM002. So, war in Dubai be like, gentlemen, welcome to Dubai. Oh, reminds me of Ed 209 outside of OCP Technicals. The way it's parked, which is improperly, really completes the picture according to this comment. But yeah, you have like and oh, this is a Corvette. Like you have the civilian enthusiasm. This isn't the Lamborghini won't be the first supercar. It isn't the first supercar. Like it might be the first supercar to mount a machine gun like that, but it won't be the last. So I'm not gonna technically put this down because this is a cosmetic. As you can see, this is like an airsoft Browning M2. But I'm just in awe. I'm just in awe of the lengths people are willing to go just to have fun. And I would do this. I would have fun. But because we have a lot of like this brought up like what it was brought up, Mad Max and Death Race. Like the spirit of the technical might have like in serious terms might have originated in the Middle East or in like around Ukraine, but in the early days of like we brought up, like the origins were British for the first armored civilian fighting vehicles, the Middle East and Africa for the first technicals as we know them today, and Ukraine and Britain like Western Russia, Eastern Ukraine for the earliest forms of fighting vehicle. But I think it's in the US because we have this gun culture, the US and Australia specifically. Because like the US because we can do this here because a lot of it is legal, and Australia because well, it's the origin of Mad Max. Let's see, and look out for total vets. So this is not a Corvette, but I just wanted to bring up because I'm not gonna look it up or go on a direct tangent about it. But Mad Max, you have Mad Max and Death Race. I didn't want to necessarily put on cite them as like direct examples of technicals because they weren't used in actual combat. But it's just so interesting that we have this entire culture around armoring, like weaponizing vehicles, and it comes with our idea of the romanticized dystopia, the romanticized apocalypse. This is what they would do, and this is what they would run. My Doomsday Beetle, this is a proper one. And you know what? Out of this, because this looks like a genuine a genuine Browning 50 cal, I'm gonna cite this as an actual where is that? I'm gonna cite this as an actual Volkswagen Beetle. And fun fact, the Volkswagen Beetle was was originally designed. I think it was originally a civilian vehicle, but it was built off of a military platform. And I guess relevant because 420 was recently that yeah Hitler really Hitler originally had a hand in designing the Beetle. And where is that yeah, we have hidden history of yeah, we have that. It was by the German Labor Front under the Nazi Party and revived into the global brand it is today by the British post-World War II vehicle under post-World War II by the British Army officer Ivan Hurst, is known by the iconic Beetle. The Volks like the Beetle would technically be one of the first like very early technicals, if we think about it. If we can find oh, that's some serious shit. Mr. Ford, I don't think what is being offered here is worth a damn. Where is that? Oh, we're not gonna look at that. We're not gonna look at that. I don't want to get busted by YouTube for looking at swastikas. But I'm trying to find the KDF wagon. I'm trying to find the Kubelwagen. That's what it is. That's the Kubelwagen, which is like the OG. Yeah, this is the OG Beetle, which makes it one of the earliest like semi-technicals. you get successor, the DKW Munga and the VW Type 181 thing. If you think about it, like the Kubelwagen or the Volkswagen would have been one of the earliest technicals, as we can see here. It's directly related. Were any machine guns directly mounted onto this? Oh man, there was a half track. Soldiers using a jack to change the tire. And nothing ever changes. War never changes. Time is a flat circle. Standard Army German 4x4. Well, this was designed by Porsche. So VW and Porsche have been like together since the beginning. I can't VWB. The Volkswagen Kubelwagen. But going back to the idea of the civilian technical, I will give additional props because no, that's just a prop. But I just like this idea. This is a Volvo. I think a Celebrity or a Century. Celebrity wagon. I can Pontiac 6000 or Cutlass Sierra. All the A-body cars are nearly identical. So like, and we just have this civilian culture in the U.S. of just like, I wouldn't do this, but like, especially in this, not just Mad Max and Death Race. Death Race was like our Mad Max for what it was worth. It's not as iconic, but when it comes to mounting like guns on cars, that's where it came from. Like, we just have this culture, and I think it's like also the big zombie craze during the 2000s and 2010s that made these really popular, like the zombie car, the zombie apocalypse vehicle where you just strap something on the front and you'd have these spikes and spears and you just ram through this horde of zombies, like at least in their mind. Oh, those are spurs in the back. Those are like giant like cowboy spurs. And we have Mad Max style technicals have become a staple of the Ukraine's fight against Russia. Like this whole thing about Mitsubishi L200. Where's that? Where do we put the Mitsubishi? Yeah, we already put down the Mitsubishi L200. And I guess it's worth, while this is putting down the Zhongxing Grand Tiger, which is like I guess China got so jealous of Japan providing all of these technicals that they made their own. Zhongxing Grand Tiger. Zhongxing Grand Tiger, which I guess because China will sell in a lot of countries that the Japan like probably banned their, well, or like Nissan, I mean, what is it? Toyota wouldn't sell like the Zhongxing or Hebei Zhongxing automobile, which is like they probably sell in a lot of countries that Toyotas would be banned or not sold in, which is I think interesting. So we have those, compare a Toyota pickup and oh boy, here we go. We have another Here we have another um car technical. That's cool as hell. That's a remote controlled weapon system with, I believe, a I can't identify the gun. KPV 14.5 millimeter heavy machine gun. That's a Volga. Gaz 2410. I think because like this is like from the ancient Cold War. What these were. These were like I think the 70s and 80s. What it's worth, and that's like a full-on machine gun in the back. That's so cool. I love it. I love it. Yeah, these are always sexy cars. The Gaz Volga. I think this is a later version, and as we can the shark and the baleen. I think this is what is being shown here. Is it? I'm not sure. Maybe not. And the shed. We have the like the yes, the Wish version. Oh yeah, the Wish version of the Toyota. And no, here we go. Here we go. The Gaz 24. This was like this is what's being used. This is some Metro or Stalker shit. This is like this is pure Soviet core. All of this entire setup, pure Soviet core. And a light truck with a ZPU-1 anti-aircraft gun. I love it. I just love it. These are sexy cars, and they still look sexy even with the even ruined by all of these. And I'm gonna go into a second, like a variation here. I like um everyone like if you know what this is, you know what we're getting into. The armored bulldozers, which I should bring up because while they aren't technicals in the civilian sense, they still are civilian vehicles converted directly for use against directly for combat use, frontline combat use. So we have the armored bulldozers here, and they go back a long time. And like the original the original mobile pillboxes, these were for what they're worth, these have gone back a long time as well. The first armored bulldozer, the D7A, was developed by the British during World War II. A conventional D7. Oh boy, the first picture is the D7 being an armored bulldozer. I'm gonna bring that out. Fitted with armor to protect the driver and the engine. These aren't technicals as in pickup trucks, but they still definitely count for what they're because this is oh man, this is like yeah, like if you know where this is going, you know where this is going. The first armored bulldozer was developed by the British during World War II. This is a conventional Caterpillar D7 bulldozer, Caterpillar like fitted with armor to protect the driver and the engine. The work was carried out by Jack Olding and Company Limited of Hatfield. So these were first used in World War II. The armored bulldozer. And so I'm not gonna count armored engineering vehicles or tanks with the bulldozer blades added. I'm gonna count only the civilian bulldozers as well. Modern armored bulldozers are often based on the Caterpillar D7 and D9. The attributes make the D9 popular for construction projects. They make the DI popular for major construction projects, make it desirable for military applications as well. It has been particularly effective for the Israel Defense Forces and the U.S. Armed Forces, the Marine Corps and the U.S. Army, and the Canadian Army in Iraq. Following the success of the armored D9, Caterpillar Defense Products started to manufacture and sell armored bulldozers, mainly for the U.S. Armed Forces. So I wanted to bring up the idea. This is the Israeli version, which has its own share of controversy being used by Israel and all, but I don't want to get into that. But for what it's worth, these are being used right now, right this second in the war in the new palace in the Israel-Palestine war in Gaza. And so we have the slat oh, we have slat armor, and I should put that down as well. Um Hold on. Counter army. Counter RPG slat armor. So we have one of these, and it's just like, and bear in mind, this is a civilian bulldozer. You have seen these before in every constructions and every like major construction site you've seen. And I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down. Caterpillar D9 and the D7. So it has the main IDF the main IDF modification is the installation of an Israeli-made vehicle armor kit that protects the mechanical systems in the operator cabin. D9 is great. The operator and commander are protected inside an armored cabin, the cockpit, with bulletproof glass windows to protect against bombs, machine guns, and sniper fire. The IDF developed and installed slat armor add-on to deflect rocket-propelled grenade RPG rounds. The fitted armor package adds roughly 15 additional tons, or 17 short tons, of the production line weight of the D9. The modified D9 bulldozer can be fitted with disparate features such as crew-operated machine guns. That's an M240 Bravo at the top. To my knowledge, I think that's either the Negev, which is Israel's like locally made machine gun, or an M240 Bravo, which is in use by the U.S. military, which is like also known as the FN Mag. With smoke projectors or grenade launchers. Citation needed. The Israeli armor and durable construction of the D9 makes it impervious to landmines, IEDs, and counter-belly charges. And so we have, like, it looks menacing. The cage, the teeth, everything about it. And, like, it's mounted on a civilian vehicle. Caterpillar enters the D9 in 1954. It quickly found its way into civilian engineering in Israel. Then it was recruited into military service. Unarmored D9s were used in the Sinai War, the Six-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, and Peace for Galilee. So we have all of that, and Caterpillar D9. Oh yeah, smoke grenade launch. Yeah, we already have smoke. Oh, oil, a smoke screen, a smoke grenade dispensers. So we have those. Oh, I'm really sorry, guys. We're gonna have to continue this on Wednesday because my dad came home. I'm really sorry, everyone. Otsu love. I didn't want to end this like this since we're so close to the end.